Hi, this is Dana. Welcome on my channel. Here I speak about spiritual warfare. Excuse, this is my dog on the background, the noise that you just heard. So I'm speaking here about spiritual warfare. In the current video, in this video, God has been guiding me to talk about cloaking. This has been a topic which I recently discovered, and I kept asking God because I kept hearing about cloaking, and also in my spiritual fighting in recent past, uh, I discovered that some attacks came from specific individuals, and that they have been attacking me for a very long time, for years, many years. And I asked God, I said, how come I didn't notice this individual attacking me? Because I know myself now very well. I've done spiritual fighting for many years. I do very precise diagnosis on energy. I can read easily the type of attacks being done, who is attacking. I can distinguish between energy of different individuals very easily. So I couldn't understand how come I didn't see this individual, because it's somebody that I know since childhood. So it was a little bit peculiar to me. I know his energy, you know. So it was a bit peculiar to me. How come I didn't distinguish him between attackers, you know? And God has said to me he was cloaking himself successfully. And I was like, how is this cloaking working? I don't understand. So I asked in recent past a few questions so I can understand better how this cloaking works, because it was again, it was very peculiar to me. And basically, what God has shown me, I imagine, is not news for those who do it, but for all the others who are not doing it but are confronting this type of attacks from individual cloaking themselves. I think it's important to understand how it works. And essentially, what God has shown me is that they, um, on purpose, take on themselves darkness, demons, entities, um, they do rituals where not only that they conjure and summon different forces, but they take those forces into themselves. Okay. um Now, this is a bit shocking to me, because this essentially means selling your soul. This essentially means selling your soul. I'm not sure that they understand precisely what is going on, but this means that you sell your soul to that entity. Okay. uh, this also means that whatever type of addictions that demon or that entity will want to create in you, promiscuity, addiction, drugs, anger management, inability to control your anger. Um, it can even come down to death, you know, meaning murder, basically, because there are dark entities which feed from the energy of death, of the agony of the soul, and so on. So essentially, you, by free will, accept all of those on you. So this is the entire opposite concept of the spiritual fighting. So instead of fighting those forces, and instead of cleaning yourself and healing yourself, whatever is sent to you, they what they do in order to achieve a successful cloaking is they call on those dark forces, and they take those forces within themselves. So they sell their soul to them. And it took me a long time to grasp this concept. And I was like, well, why would they do such a thing? I mean, I don't see the point. Why would you do? Okay, I understand you want to cloak yourself, but then how about yourself? Okay, no matter how much harm you want to do to somebody else, I mean, you have sold your soul to a dark entity. How are you going to deal with that? How are you going to get rid of that darkness? How is this possible? And God has shown me that what they do is that they go to different individuals and they ask for exorcism to be done on them in order to take those forces out of them, which to me seems even more stupid. And I hope some of them will listen to this and will learn from this, and they will understand what I'm going to say next. I have done exorcism myself very successfully, many, 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 many times. This was the first step actually into my spiritual fighting, because all the demons and entities and spirits and Satan, which was being sent to me very often by them, um, for me it was such a huge shock as compared to the previous spiritual life which I led, that in spite of being very much aware uh, of energy, and in spite of having my sword of light, I just basically couldn't click in order to fight it properly. So God first taught me to do exorcism. Essentially, the God's idea was that while you will do exorcism, you will see that these are forces which are beneath your power. You can fight them, and then this blockage which you have against the darkness will dissipate, and you will start learning different ways to fight it. So the first thing that I learned from God was exorcism. Okay. Um, and I have done it successfully for many years. And only when I felt confident enough, then I gave up on performing exorcism so often, simply because I wanted to defeat that darkness instead of doing exorcisms. This is I said in one of my writings, doing exorcism on a dark force. It becomes like a game between you and that force, because that force will keep coming. You're gonna keep doing exorcism, and when I felt comfortable enough and confident enough in my ability to fight against those forces, including Satan and so on, God has shown me you must gain authority. You must gain authority in face of that force, and you gain authority not only by doing exorcism but by defeating that force. Okay, so you need to do a totally different type of spiritual fighting. So I know from experience, exorcism, even if you are the one who is performing the exorcism, is not that helpful. It's gonna create a release, taking that entity away from you, but it will not solve the problem, because that entity will keep coming. If somebody is sending it, they will keep sending it. If the entity comes for a particular reason, because as a sacrifice ritual done on you or something, they that will keep coming back, um, and you have to fight it. But even more than that, in my case, there was a very legitimate authority gained through exorcism. Why? Because I didn't call for that darkness to come, and I was performing the exorcism myself, which already showed I'm more powerful than that force. So it already gained for me a certain level of authority. It was not a total defeat, but it was a certain level of authority, because I was able to push it out to do exorcism, right? But if you are the one who called that entity in, and you're not even capable of doing the exorcism yourself, you have to pay somebody else to do it for you, you gain nothing. You gain no authority whatsoever. More than that, that darkness will keep following you all the rest of your life until you learn to fight, because you're the one who gave legitimacy to to that dark force to come. So no exorcism on the face of the planet can help you for a long term. It can help you for a short term, but that will come back. So to me, this is why I found it so stupid. I said I cannot imagine what objective on the face of the planet would you have so important that um, will deserve taking on so much risk of you taking darkness upon yourself and selling your soul to that. Now, more than that, as you sell your soul to that force, You give up to the highest level of power that a human can have, namely the soul power. You give up on your connection to God. You cannot connect to God if you don't have soul power, if you don't have a soul. So, uh, to me, this is not only a complete nonsense, but it's something which I cannot imagine who would come up with such a stupid idea. Why wouldn't they research it enough to see if this is helping them in any way? And why don't they research in order to understand the exact consequences? Um, there is no advantage in this. I don't know why they think they gained anything in doing so. Because whatever I can understand that they did this in order to attack someone, and so they won't be discovered that it's them, you know, who's attacking. But and also I can understand that once they have that dark forces in within them, they seem to believe that they have more power. You know, I doubt that. I simply doubt that because God gave enough power to each soul to carry on spiritual fighting. It just means you didn't exercise your power, your divine power, and you chose to give that up. Also, selling your soul. Not only you didn't exercise it enough, but you also sold your soul to that dark force. So, of course, then it seems to you that you gained power by taking some sort of demon upon yourself. But that it's stupid because I'm pretty sure each and every individual on the face of the planet has more power given by God than the power a demon gives to that individual. Of course, it seems more if you don't exercise the power you have from God. You don't even know what kind of power you have. So it obviously seems that you gain power, but you don't. I don't believe this. There is no way you gain power, more power from Satan than God gave you, because God sent you here to fight it, to fight Satan. So obviously, God sent you here with more power than Satan. But you just didn't learn about your power. You didn't use your power. You didn't exercise your power. You didn't cultivate your power. So then you felt like you don't have power, right? And then anything that Satan or any other dark force would promise to you seems like an elevation of power. It's not. I'm pretty sure it's not. And But in any case, God said to talk about this in this video. I don't know who is it for. I imagine it's for these stupid idiots who do this. Um, Now, while they did this, they will have to fight the addictions which they took upon themselves from that entity. They will have to go through redemption for all the harm they've done while they did this stupid cloaking, and they will have to gradually gain power through redemption in order to be able to fight the darkness which they took upon themselves. I'm not even talking about the spiritual fighting to break bondage. That's what we came here for. But them, instead of doing what we came all here for, they created bondage upon themselves. This is, to me, it's like it's impossible to understand this logic. It's really impossible. And many of them are men. And I asked God, I said, how come you created such stupid individuals? I don't understand, because I don't see the point in all this. I mean, I can understand that you use this as a cover up to harm someone, but how stupid you need to be, how much you need to desire to do harm on somebody else, that you're willing to sacrifice yourself, your soul, your own power, just to harm somebody else. I'm not even going to enter into this. I'm not going to enter into this because to me it's so stupid, and God keeps telling me to stop insulting people. So I'm going to stop talking about this from my own perspective. I described to you in this video how cloaking works. Um, I uh, we'll say one more time, just I think it's stupid. And basically, I can only say, good luck to everyone who has been stupid enough to do this. Now, that's all I can say. Okay, I'm gonna end this video here. It's just because it's something that I'm pretty sure it's important to be put out there as a topic. But to me, this to be this stupid, maybe you don't deserve to be on Earth. Maybe you shouldn't have been sent to 3D, because obviously I'm just not gonna say it again. Okay. So please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel, so we make sure that the divine guidance I share with everyone reaches those individuals who actually need it. Thank you.